Now, if you recognize the sample in this song, shout out you. But even if you don't recognize the sample in this song, you recognize what I'm about to do when this song comes on. Oh my goodness, the timeline was funny as shit today. Ubisoft, they was cracking on Elon. They was cracking on that other bitch ass nigga, Crumbs. Cause that's what his beard and his chest full of at all times. Cause he don't go outside, get no air, nothing, none of that. He just be inside all day sucking on dick. All day, the whole day. 20. I don't even care if I'm cursing in the first whatever minutes of this YouTube video. That's that whole man's life, and he literally admitted that. He don't take care of his kids, none of that. He don't give his kids hugs, love, none of that. But I'm not gonna lie, why would somebody who spends their whole day calling black people and all these other races of people, basically calling everything but his fetish of what a straight white male that he would want to date or some shit is? Why would he take care of his kids when he's busy doing that? But what Elon Musk was busy doing was on Twitter tweeting about woke this, DEI that, woke this, DEI that, in relation to games. And Ubisoft, lately, Ubisoft has came out and publicly put their stance on this whole DEI gaming stuff, and their stance has been, this shit is stupid, shut up. Shut up. We made a game. Our whole game franchise is based off of historical fiction being mixed up for the sake of fun. Now we want to historically, fictitiously make a story that includes a Negro, and all of a sudden everybody's upset. They're sitting on the floor going seizuring because they couldn't fathom the idea that black people lived in places besides Africa before slavery happened. Just no, black people spawned on this earth when white people went overseas and decided to enslave them. There's no black history before that. There's no black history in your history books, because a lot of conquistadors erased it. It exists. Just because it's not written down doesn't mean it don't happen. How many people out there every day bad stuff happens to them and of course never hear about it? For example, people could get their life ended. You can end somebody's life right now and do it in a way where there's no evidence. That don't mean that person still ain't fly up in the sky or sink down into the earth. That don't mean that corpse isn't still in that woods. That person still passed away. Their family never gonna see him again. But nobody caught you. That doesn't mean they not dead. That just means nobody knows. So same thing when it comes to this. They basically they did one of my favorite thing, bro. Like I always say, these niggas, you could tell they don't be having father figures, or that they father figures be fucking idiots. I'll be a father figure. I'll smack you upside the back of your head and say, shut up, nigga. And some of y'all need that. Some of y'all need somebody to smack you upside the head and say, shut up. Stop talking. Please. Cease the words that you are saying because they're stupid. And some of y'all may think that's cruel, but I will call you a bitch ass nigga. Now, to read about, there's several different ones that I saw all over my timeline, but this is the one that like went the most viral. And like what I want y'all to notice, the first thing I want y'all to notice is I have this nigga muted. I can't see what either one of them say. Whenever people retweet their tweets, I see the retweet, but I don't see the actual tweet. So I didn't know about any of this because I have the other two accounts in this conversation muted. I wouldn't have seen this if people weren't constantly retweeting this tweet of an account that I don't have muted. Now, I'm gonna show you the first couple ones, and we gonna read everything and go down the list. We gonna go down the loser list. So loser nigga number 1 said, you can tell a lot by Ubisoft at Ubisoft with how much money they are throwing at terrorist platforming streamers. Hasanabi, like he's a streamer on Twitch or whatever, said that he's playing Assassin's Creed Shadows once more. Get in now for gaming. It's an ad basically. He said here's a link to go buy it. my page, they're basically using it for an ad. And he's saying, oh, they paid him to do an ad, they must be falling off. Then dickhead Musk said Hassan is a fraud. Whether he is or isn't doesn't fucking matter. Because if y'all remember, a couple months back, let's see what happens when I type into Google's.com. Actually, matter of fact, let me formally go to Google so y'all can see. When I type in Elon Musk and then I press space, does it pop up? No. Then I type in Path, P-A-T-H, of Exile 2 is the next thing that pops up. Now, if you're a fan of video games, you may recognize the game Path of Exile. Basically, it's a dungeon crawler, Diablo style, whatever that genre is, dungeon crawler type of thing, type of game, right? So you may go, oh, maybe he just has a passion for the game. No, this nigga doesn't. Elon Musk's controversial Path of Exile 2 character continues with the even wilder internet drama. Now, I haven't read this article from Forbes in particular, but let me sum up what happened. Basically, there was an account for Path of Exile 2 that said Elon Musk, that had people going, Elon Musk is one of the best people in the world at Path of Exile. Then Elon Musk hopped on Twitter and streamed him playing Path of Exile. By the way, the mode he was in was the hardest version of Path of Exile, which I'm not too much of an expert, so I'm going off with somebody who I know is an expert, broke it down. Basically, he was playing in the hardcore permadeath mode. So if you die, your character's gone for history. Ain't no control C, ain't no auto save at the checkpoint before we start the game. Ain't no I'ma snapshot my computer's RAM and keep it backed up. None of that. None of that. It's a server-based game. It's an online-based game. Nigga, your character dies for the rest of history. Your character ain't coming back. And this game deals with RNG drops. So ain't no, I just go to this boss, kill him once and get the gear back. No. You gots to grind. And for those of y'all that know anything about dungeon crawlers, one thing you know is that out of all genres of games, now there are people who professionally and hardcore play a lot of different games, right? And a lot of people will always relegate to saying you're a sweat, you're a nerd, you sit on this game all day, you don't get the fuck off the game. And usually that's not always true. Like Marvel Rivals, for example. Yes, there are people who sit on the game all day, but the people, a lot of the people who are in the top ranks do, but not all of them. You don't have to sit on the game all day to be good or even decent at Marvel Rivals. A game like Path of Exile, on the other hand, you do have to sit on the game all day to be good at it. And even though this nigga is a fraud in terms of how his wealth works and how he has money, that's a fact that has been historically documented, stated, and shown. Even though he's a fraud in that regard, there's a lot of different things that he does. He every time Trump does a political showing, he has to be there with his hand in with his hand in his little boyfriend's pocket, going twisting his hair back and forth while his son says, "Dad, you're a fucking fraud. Why are you pretending like you're not?" Yeah, he has to do that. So he has to do stuff like that. Even if he doesn't do shit for the company, legally he has to go to company meetings, and that's going to happen often and a lot. He has to go to stuff like investor calls. There's a lot of different conferences and stuff like that. He also has to go to whenever his company does like business showings and stuff like that. Like when they showed off that Tesla on stage, he has to go to stuff like that. So there's a lot of different places that this man needs to be, and a lot of different things that he needs to do in relation to his companies and his boyfriend Donald Trump. When the fuck do you have time to play Path of Exile? This is legitimately a game you have to sit on for 10 hours a day. You don't have 10 free hours a day to sit on Path of Exile. How is your character so highly leveled? Well, it's because he has somebody play the account. He has somebody make an account with his name on it, play it, grind his character up to that level so he can show off and say, hey everybody, look, I'm such a good gamer. No, you're not. No, you're not. You paid somebody to make that. It's like everything else in your life. You paid somebody to make it look good, or you found something that looked good and you paid somebody to say it was yours. It ain't yours, nigga. So that's the short version, because there's a whole lot more, and there's a whole lot of people who could break down how fraudulent and how bad his gameplay was and how obvious it was that he was a freaking liar. But I'm giving you the short version. Trust and believe that is the short version. Now that you understand the context behind why this is the pot calling the kettle a dark black Ebon looking bitch. One of those not Elon, Ebon, like the dude from Superhero Static Shock. What? Let me remind you what he looked like. Images, Ebon. Yeah, like remember this character from Static Shock? Where is it? Open image and new cat. Yeah, he's calling the kettle black. This dude. This is what Elon looks like calling the kettle black. He looks like Ebon. He looks like Father. What was that the dude from Kids Next Door? Father KND. This is him. Actually, this is a more accurate depiction. Hold up, never mind. Because a lot of people who are coons would like to call Elon black, but nothing about that nigga's Negro. He came from Africa. Apartheid Africa. This is Elon Musk. If y'all watch Codename Kids Next Door, there was a character named Father who was a father of the evil kids from down the lane. This is Elon Musk. But instead of taking care of his evil kids down the lane, he don't. This right here, this is an accurate depiction of Elon Musk. This is him pointing at the kettle. You're black! Yelling it at the top of his lungs. You're black! Nigga, you're black too. You're black too. You're the blackest of us all, actually. So he called Hassan a fraud. Then he said sellout would be more accurate. Objectively, he is promoting a terrible game. Let's look up the Metacritic. Creed Metacritic. Let's see what Metacritic says. Okay, Metacritic says that publications give it an 81 and that the user score is mixed 7.2. So that means across reviewers, like people who professionally review games, and the people playing the game, it's a decent game. Now 7.2 may not be the greatest score. It may not be a 10 out of 10. It may not be a 100%. It may not be a 5 stars. But I think 7 out of 2 is far from worst thing ever. Because like a lot of people would date a 5 out of 10 and gas her up and say she's an 8. When it's like, nigga, be honest with yourself. Your shorty's a 5 out of 10 when she do her makeup right and she got on the right dress. Every other time of the year, she's a 2 out of 10. Okay? She's a fucking 2 out of 10. And that's okay. Not everybody gotta be the hottest person walking around. Oh wait, this is Assassin's Creed OG. I'm bugging. Wait, let's see shadows. Assassin's Creed. I'm bugging my dumbass. So let's see. 5.9 mixed ag. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Generally favorable. It has an 82 on Metacritic. Metacritic 5.9. That's basically a 6. See, nowadays the way that rating scales work, people basically call any game. Actually, now that I think about it, we can't trust the review score on this because this game gets hate bombed. This game got hate bombed. Let's look at the negative reviews and see if they actually are talking about the game. All reviews, negative reviews. Having played the game to the credits and ending story of a $70 game to be left on a cliffhanger, I'm assuming they can push another expansive DLC. Okay, actually about the game. If you turn the enemy archers off and put the stealth on the hardest and enable guaranteed stealth kills in the options menu, you actually have a half decent Assassin's Creed game. Okay, actually talking about the game. Not your typical Assassin's Creed game. Parents, don't buy this for your kid. Check out Steam reviews to find it. First off, why are you buying an Assassin's Creed game for your kids? This is a game where you play as a sneaky assassin that kills people. If you're the type of parent that monitors what games your child is playing, you're not buying this game for your fucking child. And if you're the type to not give a fuck, you're buying this game for your child. You don't care. Anyway, not your typically Assassin's Creed game. What? Parents, don't buy this for your kids. It may cause harmful ... So we don't know what explicative that was. Historic, unacceptable, and inaccurate black person history. Gay romance options. Maybe I'm tripping. Let me look up what the word option means. Options definition.
Option.
Let me pause the music while I let Google play it. Google play it and pronounce the word.
Option.
Option. A thing that is or may be chosen. Let me read that again.
Option.
A thing that is or may be chosen. Meaning, you had... Oh wait, that's the wrong music. Meaning, you had access to a variety of different options, selections, choices, and you decided to click on the boy kiss another boy one. You decided to play the game and pick the boy kiss another boy options in the game until you saw boy kiss another boy. Now, I don't know about you, but as a heterosexual man, I'm not playing as a dude in a game, seeing a boy kiss another boy option and picking it. I don't got nothing against gay people, none of that. I just don't want to see that. So for you to pick that, that means you want to see that. And that's fine, that's okay. Come to terms with yourself. They got support groups for things like that. But you wanted to see that. It's an option. And someone wet dream romancing a great lord sister. Yeah, if you were in ancient times, you would want to fuck royalty without being royalty yourself too. Because a lot of royalty related relationships back then were incestuous. So to not be royalty and fuck royalty, that's supposed to be like a status power move type thing. That would be cool. So I guess it's gay to fuck women and it's gay to pick. It's not gay to want to see a gay romance, but it's gay to want to see a female in a male relationship, whatever. Same old AI, no improving on gameplay, and money-hungry microtransactions on single-player game. Bad practices. Main characters are forgettable. Story is awful. Good thing is the landscape in open world view. I will not be silent. You know what this I will not be silent at the end tells me? This tells me that this is a review bomb review, because everything else you said related to the gameplay is stuff that I've seen regurgitated in actual stuff related to the gameplay, which means that what you tried to do is you tried to do an insult compliment sandwich, basically. So if those of you aren't familiar, basically a compliment sandwich is when before you give somebody criticism, you compliment them, you give them the criticism, then you compliment them again. So what he tried to do to try and make people think that this review was actually about the gameplay was he tried to put something related to the gameplay that he probably copied from another review. The bullshit in the middle, and then stuff the rest of the review at the end, then the I will not be silent. Because he probably put this review up there, the moderators checked it, said, you're just talking about DEI woke. This has nothing to do with the game. We're deleting your review. And he probably did it a couple times, and he deleted his review a couple times. And I'm saying his for a reason. His review a couple times. Then he copied somebody else's review, put the I hate black people part, I hate gay people part, I hate women part in the middle. Then put that shit at the end. Then put the I will not be silent. And then they went technically we can't take this down. Let's keep going. 4. Beautiful environments like in most recent AC games. Weather system is really good. The story starts but goes downhill quickly, and the ending is pretty anticlimactic. Also, English voice acting is really bad. That I can vouch for. So this one, talking about the game. Let's read the whole review though. As for the combat and animations, they are pretty repetitive, and this game is too easy even on the highest difficulty. Stealth mechanics are good, but that's all ruined by the same layout every village you attack, and the same commanders with the same animations. Overall, not worth $70. Wait for a heavy discount. And even in this review, he didn't say the game was the worst thing that ever walked the earth. He just said it's not worth $70. So that's an actual negative review. This game was made to get this game was made to get every cent from your wallet. Why are there microtransactions in a game that you have already bought? Also, everything about the game is lower than mid. Gameplay, story, gave it this score because the game is a waste of time. Do not buy this game. A review saying this video game is a good line. Haven't played more than a few hours of this boring mess. I mean, nah, that sounds like a zero-worthy review. I'll let you have that one. That sounds like an actual reason to give something a 0. Versus other dude up here who gave it a 1, which it seems like one example out of many. I'm not scrolling through all 200, 300, 400, 500 different of these reviews just to try and show you the ones that I'm talking about. But there's a good majority of these reviews that exist that are like this, where they're just insult sandwiches. So this, in this specific case, because this game was specifically being targeted, because look, because if there's another indicator, the positive and the negative reviews match. No game that people definitively hate and think is a 5.9 will have this much of a difference in the mix. So you're telling me most of the people played this game either hated it or they loved it? That tells me that a good majority of people, when they play this game, are really in the middle. It's just, like I said, because the rating scale is so skewed, most people either hit 8, 9, 10, or they hit 1, 2, 0. Like, on no other review have I ever seen numbers this much of a match. It's either been heavily leaning towards this, like this will be like 1.5K, this will be like, I don't know, like 500, and this will be like 100, or it'll be inverse. But you're telling me 50% of the people like this game, about 50% of people that played this game absolutely hate it and think it's the worst scum of the industry? Those numbers don't make sense. So with this is one of those rare cases where I say actually the user score is not trustable because this shit is targeted. And we know they do that, those hate rate stuff, because I saw something the other day that said they were even hate bombing on the Google reviews. I forgot Google even had reviews until I seen that shit the other day. So I'm gonna go more with the reviewer score here on this one for the logic that I just previously stated. 82. So even if we round it down and say reviewer bias, let's round it down by a point. That's still 72. Or 81 if you're a fucking idiot. But in the context I was talking about, that's still a 72. That's still a pretty good game. So objectively, he's promoting a terrible game that had 1,000 good reviews. I don't know about that one. We could say that objectively it's not a bad game, not the greatest, but not a bad game. Anyway, after calling Hassan a fraud and saying that this game is objectively has to be bad, Assassin's Creed clapped back by saying, "Is that what the guy playing your Path of Exile 2 account told you?" And for that, I gotta say, what I want you to do right now is go to the nearest convenience store and put your hand in the register for no reason. Their money is your money. That's how I feel about this tweet. Their money is your money for the next 24 hours. Because I'm not gonna lie, they went triple platinum with this response. And it was another couple responses I saw that they had in relation to this. Let me see if I can find it on their profile. No, I will have to go to replies. not this. If I have to go more than a couple scrolls to find it, I'm good. No, that one, that's the one I got. Like, oh, this is another one. Our game is out. So basically, weird nigga replied with an article saying Assassin's Creed Shadow isn't the hit Ubisoft desperately needs. Analyst says Assassin's Creed Shadows is selling well, but it's reportedly tracking behind Valhalla and falls short of Split Fiction, which I actually have an article about that. Fall short of 2025 hits like Split Fiction. Split Fiction has technically been out longer. That's number one. Number two, Ubisoft said our game is out. Now, excuse me, there's two ways you can interpret this. You can interpret this, one, as Assassin's Creed saying, as the Assassin's Creed Ubisoft developer going, hey, this person is giving us free promo every time they open up their lips to suck on our meat again. So we're just gonna promote our game and say our game is out. People, if you want to go buy our game, go to such and such website and blah 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 blah. You can buy it on whatever platform you want to play it on, right? Or you could take it on them saying, and look. You may want to call this a tinfoil hat theory. But just listen to me. What I think they're saying is, yo, bro, you spend all day and night getting bruises and scars and ashing up and dehydrating due to lack of hydration because of how much they on the floor. Your knees. You messing up your knees, man. You gonna be like all these New York niggas that was getting sturdy like me, Times Square every week doing it. Every week, your knees gonna be just like them. Cause you on the floor sucking on our dick so often. We think that you hate the lesbian, gays, bis, and transgenders plus individuals because you haven't dealt with the self-loathing of coming out as a homosexual man or bisexual at minimum, maybe even transsexual, and you still have a hard time getting those feelings out to the world and letting people know the way you truly really feel. You enjoy sucking dick. We have 4K footage for years and years and years of you just eating penis on the timeline all day and night for no goddamn reason, unprovoked, for free. For free. Day and night. The lonely dick sucker sucking dick all day and night. At night. And day as well. Just come out, bro. Hop out the closet. Wave the rainbow flag. This is not the 1990s that your bigoted dad taught you the world is based on. You're not gonna walk outside, say I'm a homosexual man, and somebody's gonna beat you with a rock, bro. Come outside. I mean, we would want to beat you with rocks, but it wouldn't be because you're homosexual. It would be because you're spreading hate. Just to clarify, because I don't want the nigga to go out his house and then he catch a brick to the face and be like, well, the YouTuber QaptainSlander said y'all wouldn't beat me with rocks and bricks and pitchforks. No. I said they wouldn't do it because you were gay. They're still going to do it, but it would be because you're a piece of shit human being that nobody wants around me. Anyway. Going back to bad timing music. It was another one, but I don't feel like looking for it or scrolling down through the threads. Yeah, it was another one, but I don't feel like looking for it. If you find it, you find it. Anyway, like I was saying, it's a funny situation that will never stop being funny. That being said, let's talk about the article I mentioned a little bit earlier. On how Ubisoft has revealed why Assassin's Creed Shadows hasn't and didn't beat Valhalla, and it's not what you think. It has nothing to do with has nothing to do with none of that. Let me see if I can find the quote, because I seen it in like another headline on another publication. In an internal email shared by Egan, Ubisoft revealed why Assassin's Creed Shadows has struggled to match Valhalla in terms of success, with the source noting how Valhalla had a perfect storm that helped propel it to the top spot. Valhalla launched under extraordinary conditions in the middle of a global crisis with widespread lockdowns and brand new console hardware, explained Ubisoft. It was a perfect storm we may never see again. And if you're not understanding what they mean by that concept, is that the PlayStation 5 came out in 2020. Assassin's Creed Valhalla came out in 2020. There was a worldwide pandemic of the Corbin Blue 19 virus where people couldn't leave outside their house and touch niggas with their hands. They couldn't do none of that. So what was people in 2020 doing? They was sitting in the house more. You know what's an activity that people who have to sit in the house or who sit in the house a lot, sit inside a lot, do? Play video games. A lot of people lived in houses with like little brothers and stuff like that was playing games, or they knew people that played games. And if they didn't already invest in playing games, they started saying, you know what? I'm going to be in the house for a while. I don't know how long lockdown is going to last. And I'm not going to sit around my house and do this all day and walk back and forth like I'm Batman brooding. So you know what a lot of people did? They went on Amazon.coms, they went on BestBuy.coms. If they're a real true verified dumbass nigga, they went on GameStop.com. They ordered them up a PlayStation 5th edition and they got it shipped to their house. If they was lucky, maybe they brought it off a scalper. And then when they got that PlayStation 5th edition, what did they want to do? They wanted to play the latest and greatest in gaming. And at the time, what was that? Assassin's Creed Viking. So what did they do? They said, I got this new console. Or they said, I like Assassin's Creed. I'm in the crib. Or they just saw the Assassin's Creed game and known that it was recommended by a lot of people with gamers and stuff like that. And they said, you know what? I like Vikings or whatever. I like being a smelly nigga and that loves the R word and pillage. Fuck it, I'm gonna buy the smelly R word and pillage game from this well-known studio that has a good tenure, good track record. Everybody was in the house. Spending on a lot of things during COVID was up because everybody was getting them stimmies and they was in the cribby. They was in the crib with money in their hand and nothing to do. So what was it gonna get spent on? Entertainment. And their games succeeded from that. Like spending during the Corbin Blue 19 times ballooned up in the entertainment sector so badly that a lot of them thought it was gonna be permanent. No, nigga. People was stuck in the house. That's why. Let's see if there's any more quotes though. It's more meaningful to compare shadows to entries like Origins, Odyssey, and Mirage, games released in more typical cycles, and in that frame, Shadows is already setting a new bar. While Ubisoft has set to reveal the exact sales figures, we do know that Assassin's Creed Shadows is the biggest Steam release in franchise history, while reaching an all-time player count of over 60,000. Ubisoft games usually don't come to Steam, so that's like saying that's like you bake your first cake ever and it doesn't taste like straight garbage and you go, yo, this the best cake I ever baked. Yeah, nigga, you only baked one cake. And let's say you bake 5 cakes and your 5th cake is your best, and you say, yeah, this the best cake I ever made. Bro, you made 5 cakes. You don't have a lot to compare to. Wait till you're a baker and you're making 5 cakes in an hour. Now see if every 5th cake is your best cake. So it's one of those things where it's one of those statements where it's like, you're not lying, but you're definitely manipulating the truth for your own benefit, you know?